Welcome back, friends, to the fourth session of probability distributions. We are going to study Poisson distribution in this session, and maybe this is one of the most important one because this is the starting point of understanding how continuous random variable would vary. Because you will understand in a moment what is the main point. So let's define Poisson random variable. So it is an interesting one because it shows or defines how discrete quantities are distributed over a continuous interval. What does that mean is if I want to say that the number of customers arriving in a barber shop, so the arrival time which will vary continuously. So if the shop is opening from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., the time is going to vary continuously, so that's the continuous interval, but the number of customers which we have are going to be discrete quantities. So we may have two, three, four over an half an hour or over an hour. So this is an interesting one. And maybe like another example would be number of lamp posts on a road. So along a road, we have a continuous distance, which can be 1 centimeter, 1.5 centimeter, 10 meters, 10.005 meter. So we can have a continuous space on which the number of lamps. So the number of lamps will obviously be 1, 2, 3, 5. So that is how a discrete quantity is distributed over a continuous interval. And we have only one parameter which will guide the complete Poisson random variable, which is k, and k may be defined as or is actually the average number of that discrete quantities which are coming in an interval. So if we have on an average 3 customers coming in the barber shop from uh, in each hour from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., then the k value is 3. So let's go to JASP and continue with understanding this. So in earlier video, we were understanding binomial. So let's just close binomial. So we had this data set in this. The last 3 columns are the data points for Poisson. And again, we can go to distribution. So we can get the distributions from here and click on the Poisson distribution over there. So the basic ones are the rate, or the rate at which the discrete quantity is coming or going, or the value of that discrete quantity over the interval. So that rate is the lambda value, which is called as uh, the average over that length, and that average into length will give me the average. Or like it's bit little confusing because lambda and k are both showing the average number of events, but the lambda is the average number of events in the unit interval. So if I say per hour, that means that is the value of lambda, and if I say the total average, that is the value of k. We have the explanatory text, parameters, and support. So as the parameters, we have only one parameters, that is the rate or the average. The x value, which is the number of customers coming, which will be a integer, positive integer. And the moments are, this is an interesting one. So the moment generating function is not very complex, but will not go into it. But interestingly, the mean and the variance values are same, and that are the value lambda, or they can be value of k also. So that doesn't change. But the interesting point you should make a note of is the variance and mean are same. And since the variance and standard deviation have the relation, we can say mean, variance, and standard deviation are the same values. So theoretically, they should be same. And this is how the random variable is shown on the probability mass plot. So at 0, we have the highest probability, 1, we have a very similar probability, and as we go farther from x is equal to 0, higher values of x will have smaller probability. And we can change this to whatever number we want to play around with, just a distribution. But we can see that it is sharply going down. That means that the probability are having an exponential term in them. So if I say out the probability mass function, it has at least one exponentially decreasing function or term that is going to guide my probability values exponentially reduce. And I can see, so the mass over here and cumulative probability. So that's fine. And again, this should be 10. So that doesn't make any difference over there because that was probability mass plot. Obviously, this is probability distribution plot. And as we go farther, my probability adds up to 1. Now let's just turn off all this and use one of the data points which we use from the data set. Come to Poisson's of 100 data points. That is a good estimation. So we can see that the mean and variance are close enough. If we have large number of data points, they will be much more closer. So now we have a lesser error between mean and variance. If we have less number of data points, will have more difference between mean and variance. So that is because of the discretization of the data points. And in the so we have descriptives turn on. So we have the basic values, mean, median, and quantiles. Then we have the first two moments. So we can see that if we just square and difference, take the difference. So if I take the second moment 1.93 and subtract 0.95 squared from it, I have a value of 1.02, which is very close to the variance. And obviously it should come close to mean if we have large number of data points. We can plot bar plot, which will show the data points which we have in our data set and the cumulative functions. So as we go on towards higher value of x, we have higher values of probability. So because those are the added probability. So at x equal to 0, we have probability close to 0.4. So that is 0.4. But when we go to x is equal to 2, we have something close to 0.7, 0.8. That is because these two both are added. The previous one is added into the second one or the next one. So over here we add up 0.4 and 0.35, which comes close to 0.75. As we go further, for x is equal to 2, we add up the previous all and x is equal to 2. So as we go further, we have higher and higher steps. We can again estimate the values. So we can have maximum likelihood function for it, which will give me the estimate of that parameter, standard error, and the confidence interval. So again, the confidence interval, smaller the value of confidence interval, I have smaller range of that interval, which is very close. It is now just 0.024. And if I go and increase it to 99%, I want more confidence in my estimated value of that parameter. That means I will have larger range in which I can put my parameter. And again, I can just check out how my data points are. So this plots Q plot and PP plot indicates the skewness or the normality of my data. And I can plot the histogram versus theoretical probability mass function and empirical versus theoretical probability cumulative distribution. So added up probabilities. And the last one is to check how significant we are. So the chi-square helps to find out the test statistic and the p-value. So the significance value. That's all we have. We'll end over here. Thank you.